I'm currently up to 3 iPads, one for Zoom, one for recording, and one for writing. So, but I'm getting the swing of things, so that's good. So, properties of real numbers. Our first part of this is graphing on a number line. Now, for you guys that are at home, if you have a phone, I would suggest using your calculator on one phone and your Zoom on the other. I don't know. I did figure out today that you can split screen Zoom with Canvas, and you can make it half and half. So if you like to see what I'm doing up here, you can do half Canvas, half Zoom. And if you need help with that, I will gladly help you. But you guys have been doing virtual long enough that I would think you haven't figured out, but so have I, and I haven't figured out everything. So no judgment here. Okay, so we have different types of real numbers on here. Now, you guys have had me long enough that you know I'm pretty flexible. So on each of these, since we're graphing, it doesn't need to be anything fancy. Draw yourself a little number line. Okay, our first number point is 0. So whatever main number you're working with, should be your center point. So in this case, on all 3 of your number lines, you should have 3 dashes, and obviously mine does not look pretty, okay? I'm not very good at writing on Canvas or what have you. So 3 dashes, okay? Our center point, which is going to be our main point, is going to be 0. And then what's 1 up from 0 is 1. And 1 hold down is going to be -1. And you're going to just put a dot on whatever number that you need to put a dot on. Now, number 1 seems really easy because it's a whole number. It's 0. It's pretty easy to graph. I understand mine looks totally ugly. I got that. And I can even see if I can do it on Canvas, and maybe it will be a little bit better. I did go through yesterday, if you can tell, and did adjust your assignments, so now they should say like assignment 8, assignment 9, because it makes it a little bit easier for me to explain to you what you have missing in the sub. Here we go. So if I zoom this in a little bit, maybe it'll make it a little nicer. Probably not with that fat of a pen. Okay, we got 0, 1, and -1, and we're just going to put a dot at 0. Okay? Now, go down to the next one. Now, here's where if you don't have your camera on and you're not looking at me, you need to. Okay? If you get on your phone, okay, I have an iPhone, and Android should be something similar, and you go to your calculator app on your phone. Okay? You need to turn your phone sideways, and I'm going to try to show both cameras at the same time. You have to turn your phone sideways. And you're going to type the number first. So, for example, this one says -√24. You're going to type in the 24 first. I just typed in 24 first. Okay? And then, since we're trying to do a square root, you got to look at the one that has... And where the hell is the camera? Sorry, excuse my language. You're going to look at the one that has a square root symbol, and it has a little bitty 2 on the outside of it. Okay? And then you're going to push that. And it's going to give you a number, and then since there's a negative on the outside, you can hit the negative button. Or you can just imagine that it's that same number, but just negative instead. Okay, so there we got our number, and now we're ready to go ahead and do our number line. And I'm going to do this on the other camera real quick. So, okay, so same thing, turn your phone sideways, hit the 24 first, and then you're going to look for the little 2 square root. So it's the little one, and it has a 2, on the outside of the square root. It's in the second row on an iPhone. You're going to hit that. And since it's a -24, you're going to hit the positive negative sign. Or you can just know that it's the same number but negative. So in this case, it's, and you can write it somewhere on here as soon as you get it, it's -4 and you really only need the first decimal. And I really need to make this a little bit smaller. 4.8 9. Okay, so now you're still going to draw the number line like you normally would. Okay, and draw your 3 dashes. What's going to be your center point? Okay, your center point is going to be somewhere around this whole number. So in this case, our center point is going to be -4. and we need to know what's one more than that and one less than that. Okay, so one less than that and one more than that would be -3 and -5. Okay? And it doesn't really matter the direction of your number line. I don't care if you put the 5 over here and the 3 over here. There's a correct way, but that's not our focus today. Okay, so now we don't have an exact -4.89 on there, so you got to pick where it's going to be best suited. So you don't want it all the way really close to 4 because it's closer to -5. So your point should be somewhere closer to the -5, and then just draw the point. Okay, and normally you would say above the point -√24. Okay, and that lets you know what exactly is that point, or you could write -4.89. Okay, it's nothing too hard or extravagant. Okay, the next one is -2. So draw your number line. What's going to be your center focus? Okay, we're going to draw our 3 lines. What's going to be your center focus point? Hello.
-2.
Yeah, -2. Perfect. Okay, so -2 is going to go on there. And then we need one less and one more. So you got -1 and -3. And we know that our point is on an actual line point. So just draw a dot on -2. Okay, going to the next one. You will need your calculator for this one too. If there are any kind of fractions or square roots, you're going to need your calculator, okay? So, it's -4 2/3. So what you're going to do in your calculator first, and the calculators are kind of backwards, okay? So you're going to say 2 divided by 3, because that's going to be your 2/3 part. And then you have 4 wholes, so you can say plus the 4. And in this case, it's a negative, so then you're going to hit the negative symbol. Okay? And I'll do that again. So we got 4 2/3, so you're going to say 2 divided by 3. It's always top over bottom. So 2 divided by 3. Okay, hit equals. You're going to add the 4 wholes. So add 4. And then hit the negative button. So -4.6 is going to be approximately this value. So it's going to be approximately, and this is the little symbol. It's not very good on here, but -4.6. So draw your number line. What is going to be our center point of focus?
4.
-4, but yes.
Oh yeah, -4.
Okay, and then we're going to go one up, one down. So -3, -5. Okay, and -4.6 is pretty much, okay, like I'm not that, I don't know, particular about it, but it's pretty much between half, okay, because 4.5 is half, so somewhere right in between in the middle, okay, and you can say -4 2/3 is that point, okay. Okay, number 5 says 3.5. We're going to draw our number line and 3 tick marks. Okay, what's our center point going to be?
3.
3. Okay, so our center point is going to be 3. And we go one up, one down. So it's going to be 2 and 4. Hey, Mr. Kemp, you're a little bit late, but you should be able to catch up. Okay, so... and then 3.5 is right in between that 3 and 4. So just put your dot somewhere in the middle there in 3.5. Okay. The next one is 4.8. So draw your number line. Draw your 3 tick marks. What's going to be our center marker?
4.
4. So 4 is going to be our center marker. We can only use whole numbers. You got to go one down and one up. So you got 3 and 5. And where does that 4.8 fall? Should it be right in the middle, closer to the 4, or closer to the 5?
Closer to 5.
Closer to 5. Okay, so 4.5 would be halfway. So it should be a little bit closer to 5. Pick a spot. It don't have to be perfect. and put your 4.8. Okay.